Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for checking in on Team Forbidden's YouTube page. It is I, Summon the Fanatic, here with the new deck profile for Blue Eyes with the new format until Savage Strike comes out. Savage Strike is going to give us the Guard Dragons. Supposedly there's supposed to be a ban list soon. Been tinkering with Blue Eyes ever since we got called by the grave back to 3. I decided to go with the Mekk-Knight build for this one, so let's get right into it. So first off, you got your 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons. Standard. This is my favorite artwork, the one from LOB, but I'm using the Collector's Tins ones because it says normal right on there. Next, 3 alternative. I really shouldn't have to explain this. Blue Eyes deck right now is just alternative.deck for the most part. 1 Dragon Spirit of White, just the one. Sometimes you miss the second copy, but for the most time, I hate seeing this card in my hand, and I get rid of it the instant I can. 2 Sage. It's kind of a little weird, but it's one of those, I need so much space for everything that's in this deck. And the 1 Master, because I like this card. I actually tried it without the card. I missed it. I missed him so freaking much. 2 White Stones. Only 2 White Stones because we've only got the 1 Dragon Spirit. I figured with 2, you can only use the Grave effect once per turn anyways, but only run 2 because we only got the 1 Dragon Spirit and Man Destroyer, White Stone of Ancient. Now onto the Mekk-Knight package. 1 Blue Sky. I tried it with 2. 1 seems to work the best. The only reason you go with the run is because you have the 2 targets that you can search for him, but you never really want to have him. You always want the level 8s a little bit more. Speaking of, 2 Purple Nightfalls. You can banish it, search another Mekk-Knight. You're normally always going to search Blue Sky. All the Mekk-Knights, for those who aren't familiar with them, require 2 cards to be in the same column, so that includes the extra monster zone. And if there are 2 cards in the same column, you can just summon them from the hand. You can only summon them from the hand once per turn that way. The other level 8 that we have is Mekk-Knight Indigo Eclipse. This one's just another level 8. I tried it with only 1. I've seen a whole bunch of people do 3, 1, 1. No, I think that's the wrong ratio. It's 2, 2, 1. This one is the one you can just move it, and Purple Nightfall is the one that lets you search other stuff. I could bump this up to 3, but I've never really needed the 3. 2 of each seems to work okay. And then for hand traps, we've got 3 Ash, 1 Valor, because we can search up a Sage. Next up, it's Blue Eyes deck. 3 Melody of Awakening Dragon. 2 Bingo Machine Go-Go. It's better in the pure versions, but I like this card because you can pitch it off a Melody if you need to, but it's always, half the time I'll have either Blue Eyes in my hand with no alternative, or alternative in my hand with no Blue Eyes. You just play the Bingo Machine, get your second card. Easy as that. 3 trade-in, because we have all the level 8s. We've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 level 8s in the deck, including the Mekk-Knights. If worse comes to worse, you can always trade them in. 1 Pot of Desires, because 1 Pot of Desires. I can't tell you the number of times that I've Desires into my second copy of Desires, and that second copy is dead. 1 for 1, because you got the stones, you got the Master. Master is usually going to be your main target for this. 1 Foolish Burial. Master is usually your main target for this, but he's good for anything that you can do. 1 Dragon Shrine. You're probably wondering why no Gulp Bulb. That's because we got these. The 3 Photon Sanctuaries. Talked about them there. I've been toying with the idea of putting them with Blue Eyes for years. Last deck profile we put on the channel, version 6 or 7, I believe. 6, I believe, actually. I mentioned how I'd thought about this card long before Alan Nails did, and yes, you noticed the ratios are exactly the same as Alan Nails. I don't remember how many cards he ran, though. But it's really good. I have 1 card in the extra deck that I will change, though, when I get the card to come in, and I'll tell you what it is in a few moments. Soul Charge. Just going to come out and say it. This card should be banned. It probably is going to get banned, given that we have Savage Strike sneak peeks coming up, and we've seen cards. Valkyries have a Soul Charge. that is searchable, I believe. But either way, it's Cell-Charge specific for Valkyries, and it actually has a downside, which leads me to believe that this card might finally be getting the axe for us. Monster Reborn, because we can have nice things. This is one that's probably going to get a lot of heads turning. 2 Return of the Dragon Lords. Yep, only 2. I'm following the word of Noah, what he said to the rabbits when he was trying to board them on the Ark. Only 2 returns, because you brick if you have too many revival spells, and honestly, you're never usually gonna use all 3. For 1/5 revival spell, though, I decided to put Silver's Cry back in, because it's so good with recurring Dragon Spirit of Light. You just have to remember to not chain it to the activation of an opponent's card, if possible, because then Dragon Spirit of White will miss the timing. And then for the last cards in deck, 3 Called by the Grave, because it's back at 3, like it should have been the whole time. So, yeah, that's it. For those of you who were counting, 45 cards. Yeah, I know, it's really big, but you need that amount of cards to not brick as much. So, let's get into the extra deck next. 2 Spirit. You can cut it down to 1, but I like having the second. 1 Azure Eyes. Funny thing to note that I noted a little earlier ago with my friend Andrew the Collector, who's behind the camera right now. You can summon a Sage and then activate Photon Sanctuary and go into this, because the Photon tokens are light monsters. Start a Spark Dragon. I see a lot of people cutting this card. I can say I understand why, but at the same time, I'm like, no, this is how you turn Spirit Dragon into a rank 8 play. I feel like you kind of have to use this card if you're using Blue Eye Spirit. And Black Rose Moonlight, easily the best level 7, or the best opponent's response that you can summon with Spirit. Oh, hi Colossus, hi Titan, back to extra deck. So that's it for the Synchros. It's the same ones that you've seen last time.
For Photon Sanctuary, it matters if they're normal monsters, not
correct.
monsters.
Correct. It's the normal monsters, exactly. Okay, so 38 Hope Harbinger. It's arguably the best rank 8 in the game. Number 95. Hopefully we don't get this guy banned. He's like one of the only 3 darks that I have in the deck. He's one of the only end things that you can't go into off of Photon Sanctuary. 107, because he's funny against Thunder Dragon boards. They try and do something and you're just like, oh yeah, no. Your effect's negated. I'm 4,000 attack now. I get to run over all your monsters. Galaxy Eyes Cypher Blade, because you rank it up on top of any Galaxy Eyes that's not 95, because it can't be used as Xyz material. Number 90 for another Ender. Cypher Dragon for the cheese. And Full Armor Dragon for additional pops. So for those who don't know, which, my god, we've done 8 profiles for this deck now, how do you not know? You essentially start with this, or this, and then you use their effects, or you sit on them. Normally you're going to use Cypher's effect, and you just go onto that, and then you go onto that, or you go onto that. And this one does the whole thing with the sending 3 dragons. Your opponent has to banish 3 cards. Try not to summon this guy against Orcus. You'll just help them out. Cypher is just great, and if you have the Cypher Dragon in the graveyard, when it dies, it'll recur Cypher back, and then you can go into 95 or Full Armor or whatever. Or the one that you wind up making the most defensively is this guy. Sometimes you'll go into this guy. Oh, by the way, because he is a Galaxy Eyes monster, don't let anyone not tell you this. Tell you can't do this. Just says rank 8 Galaxy Eyes Xyz monster. Doesn't have to be a dragon. That being said, if you're under Rivalry of the Warlords, yeah, try to start with one of these 2. And then from there, we're going into Link monsters, which is the only place where I have one change. 1 Link Karibo. You kind of have to have him. Plus, there's the whole super amazing combo with 38, where you get a Link Karibo and 38. They can't play, they try and activate a spell, you just absorb it as material. They try and attack you, you activate Link Karibo, reduce their attack to 0, activate Hope Harbinger's effect, changing the attack to them. Their monster is now 0 attack, and they have to attack Hope Harbinger. Nice little combo loop there. And because we have the Photon Sanctuaries, one Hippo Shinnigan, the extra X really tight, so I can only fit the one. And at the Underclock Taker here, I'll be 100% honest, this would be Landfillinkus if I had it. Because it's a light monster, or I could even do a second Hippo Shinnigan. But deck's going to change a little bit, probably once the Guard Dragons come out. I'm going to see if I can get that to work without Needle Fiber. I don't think it will, especially if they ban Summon Sorceress, which I hope that they don't. Because, honestly, the deck needs Summon Sorceress in order to live. If Konami doesn't want Guard Dragons to be meta, the deck needs Summon Sorceress. So, we'll see how that comes out in, well, I guess, hopefully a couple of days after this goes up. We'll post the review of the ban list when it hits. Next up, into the side deck. The side deck is not 100% complete, because most of the stuff in the side deck is in other decks right now, but let's just say I heavily fear the Thunder Dragon matchup. So, 3 Gamma Seals, because it's Gamma Seal, it's a level 8, it's a Kaiju, got a problem card, just get over it. Denko Sekkas, that's in there for any back row heavy decks, but I'll be 100% honest, if I had more copies of Evenly Matched, these would be those. And then 3 copies of Twin Twisters. I love seeing this thing in Ultra Rare. And first deck profile I'm doing this. Sorry guys, this is supposed to be 3 Mind Control. I only have the 1. Again, Thunder Dragons. That's a nice Colossus there. Hey, thank you. Thank you for the free rank 8 material. And then Altergeist, Trickstar, Chainburn, any trap heavy deck. Screw back row. Helps you push through for OTKs. So yeah, that's it. That's the current version of Blue Eyes. Mekk-Knight Blue Eyes, I'm going to call this one instead of Blue Eyes 8.0. I'll just call this one Mekk-Knight Blue Eyes. So just remember to like, comment, subscribe. Give us, hit that bell for notifications on future videos. Comment down below various different versions of decks that you would like to see us build. Which, side note, for all of you who have been asking for Felgrand, it is coming. It's not here yet, but it'll be here soon. I'm Seto Sam with Fanatic, signing out.